Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I am doing my mid-year freak out for 2020. So I've seen this going around a little bit recently. We are in June. I've seen this tag floating around on YouTube and on book blogs as well, and I thought I'd give it a go. It is 12 questions that basically just sum up your year so far. We have done 6 months. I'm quite proud of where I'm at. I've read 39 books out of the 50 that I want to read. I'm pretty confident that I will hit 50 books by the end of this year. I'm hoping that I will get to 75. That is like my secret goal. That's not on Goodreads yet, but anyways, so we're just gonna go through these questions. I've got my books in front of me. Some of them will not be in front of me. I will try and include a clip here for them if I don't actually own them physically. So let's get started. So the first question is, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2020? And my answer is definitely Aurora Rising by J. Kristoff and Amy Kafner. I love this book. I know I'm very late to the gig with this one because the second one has just come out. I've also got that on my shelves, so I gave this a go and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I love the characters in it. I love the storyline. I love that it's sci-fi. I love that it's set in space. So we basically follow Ori, who is this lovely girl on the front. Ori is found in a spaceship by Tyler, just floating around in the fold, not conscious. So Tyler discovers Ori in cryosleep in like a in a broken down ship in the fold, and he rescues her. And he was meant to have like first pick of everyone to have in his team for the Aurora Legion, which is what he's part of. And because he's saving Ori, he misses out on the draft, which is where you get to pick. So he is left with like the lowest of low people, including his sister and his best friend since they were young, who held out because they said that he was going to be their leader. And I really enjoyed this. I'd recommend it highly, and it was definitely the best book I've read so far this year. The second question is, what has been your favourite sequel of the first half of the year? Mine is definitely This Vicious Cure by Emily Suvada. I love these books. So it is a trilogy. This is the final one. So it's This Mortal Coil, followed by This Cruel Design, and then This Vicious Cure. So this is the final book. The first book is basically you follow Kat. She's been left alone in this log cabin for 2 years, and it's during this virus that when you get it, you get covered, you cough, you get covered in sores, and then you basically explode into what they call a hydra cloud. And it's following her and Cole, who comes to find her, as they try and find the cure to this virus, which is trapped in Cole's coding and needs Kat's DNA to unlock it. Wow, I'm just tongue-tied. It's also set in a time where gene hackers are massive, so everyone has different like apps and stuff run all by a little panel in their arms, and it's just such a good story. And this is the final one, so it concludes everything, and do you know what? This is everything I wanted. Recommend. So the third question is there a new release that you haven't read yet but you're really excited for? And I've got a long list of books that I haven't read, both new releases and old releases that I haven't read yet, but the one at the top of my list that I just want to read is Crescent City by Sarah J Maas, and I've got 2 copies of this book. This is the Waterstones edition with the sprayed edges. I've also got the Tor edition, which is equally as gorgeous, with the naked hardback foiled cover. It's great. Can't wait to read this. Do we really need an explanation on what this is about? So looking forward to finally getting around to this book. Fourth question is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And this has got to be hands down Burning Gods by R.F. Kuang. I think that's how you say it. The author of The Poppy Wars. I've just found this series. I really enjoyed the first book. I need to read the second book, but it is definitely my highest anticipated book for the second half of the year. I've got it on pre-order. I've heard that some places might be doing special editions of it, so I might get 3 or 4 copies, but don't hate me because it happens. Okay, so the 5th question is, what is your biggest disappointment of the year so far? And this has got to be hands down The Sin Eater by Megan Campinsey. I just expected so much more from this book. I won't give a full wrap up of what I felt about this book. I will leave a link down below to my latest wrap up, and it will just basically tell you everything I felt about this book. I just felt that there was going to be more to this story, and there wasn't. Like, it didn't go anywhere. For a book about food, I didn't find it tasty. Yeah, I went there. So number 6 is, what is your biggest surprise of the year so far? And for me, this has definitely got to be Tweet Cute. Oh my goodness, if you want a really cute, innocent, young adult romance summer read, read Tweet Cute. It's adorable. I loved it. Again, in my wrap up, which will be linked down below, 5 out of 5 stars. And I don't read YA, romancy, contemporary at all, but I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The next question is, what is your favourite new to you or debut author? And new to me is definitely Stephanie Garber, who wrote the Caraval series. So I have recently read Caraval and I loved it. I cannot wait to pick up the rest of the series. So Caraval is a fantasy island that you can go to, and it's run by a the ringmaster, I'd say, legend, and we follow Scarlett as she goes to this island to try and experience something new before she gets married to a count who she doesn't really know a lot about, but she's getting married because she wants to get away from her father, who is not a very pleasant person. And it's just like a lot of ups and downs, and I just love this book. The world is described beautifully, the writing is fantastic, the character building, you watch them develop throughout the book. Like, they've developed so far within this book already. Like, I can't wait to see where they go in their next 2 books. Highly recommend. I'm so glad I picked it up. The next question is, who is your favourite character so far this year? And my favourite character so far this year has got to be Cal from Aurora Rising. He is just... Cal is basically a Sildraki who is an alien species that we are yet to discover, that we will discover in the years that this is based in. He is very, like, in himself, and he doesn't do emotions very well, and he's very caged off, but he's intrigued by Ori, and I just love watching him like spread his wings throughout the book, and oh, he's so cute and I love him. And you just kind of see where all the anger's come from and why the anger's there. Oh, favourite character, hands down. So book number 9, question number 9 is a book that made you cry. I don't cry at books, I don't, but the one that would make me cry if I did is definitely the Poppy War. And this is not the whole thing, but there are some very graphic scenes within this book during, I want to say, the last like quarter of the book, where the soldiers are going through like war-torn parts of their country and what they discover, and it's heart-wrenching. Like, the way it's described, the people that they find, the way they find them, it's disgusting but well written. It's touching, not for younger readers at all, but it definitely pulls on the heartstrings like in a massive way. And if you find graphic scenes triggering, then I would not read this, but this would have made me cry. Next question is a book that made you happy, and that is definitely The Cancer Ladies Running Club by Josie Lloyd. Oh my goodness, it is not released yet. It is releasing on June 25th, so it might be out when this video goes up. It is a story told from Kira's point of view as she is diagnosed with breast cancer, and oh my goodness, what it would make you cry as well, but it just made me so happy, just how it's written, the people that she meets. She goes through like a really freaking tough time. Like, fair play. I think it is actually based on the author's like real life, but oh my goodness, like the ending is just so heartwarming. That made me happy. Number 11 is, what is the most beautiful book you have bought so far this year? That has got to be The Last Witch by Andrew Sapkowski. Yes, I did say that right. This is the Illumicrate edition. I think it is still available if you fall in love with it as I did. So it's just this lovely like grey cover with the wolf printed on it and the forest scene, and the back as well. It's got the forest scene along the bottom, and it has just got the title, the wolf, the author, and a quote. and a quote on the spine, and the quote says, "There's a grain of truth in every fairy tale." It's not signed, but these end papers as well are just gorgeous. Can we just? I'm hoping they make the next one at least, so then I have the first 2 short stories in like a similar thing. If they could make all of the series, I would be very, very happy. Hint, hint, a Luna crate, please. We want it. I want it. Final question is, what books do you want to read by the end of this year? So I have got a fair few on this list, many of which I've probably just mentioned because I haven't read them. So like the rest of the Caraval series and all of this. But the ones that are definitely on my list of books that I want to read by the end of this year are Aurora Burning, the Luna crate edition. Beautiful. Aurora Burning, which is the second one to Aurora Rising, following on the crew through their next set of adventures. Crescent City, which I've just shown you, and Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. Shelby Mahurin. I want to read this before July so that I can buy the Blood Honey box and know what I'm getting into. But I've heard great things about this book, and I'm really looking forward to finally getting into it. That wraps up my mid-year freakout. I thought that went quite well for my first one. So there are a range of books on there that I loved, that I didn't love, that I want to read. If you've read any of them or you have any recommendations, please leave them down below in the comments. Let's have a chat about it. I just want to chat. If you really enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It supports my channel so much and I will be eternally grateful. And if you want to see more of my lovely face, please give me a follow, which is the button down there somewhere. And while you're at it, click the bell so you can get notified when I post videos. I'm working on getting more content out there for you guys. I'm really enjoying filming again, which is quite nice. I need to go and tidy up my desk, so I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you all next time. Bye!